Most of us don't fail spectacularly. We just get tired. Here's the good news. God's mercies are new every single morning, and that includes today. Listen to this. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercies never cease. Great is his faithfulness. His mercies begin afresh each morning. We think grace is for big sins. You know, the spectacular failures, the moral collapses, the moments when everything falls apart. But the Bible says God's mercies begin fresh each morning, which means grace isn't just for your worst days. It's fuel for your normal ones too. I'm Rob, and today I'm going to show you how to receive grace when you haven't fallen down, you've just run out of steam. Let me give you some context. Jeremiah wrote those words in Lamentations while he was sitting in the ruins of Jerusalem. The city had been destroyed. Everything had fallen apart. This isn't a happy-clappy worship song written on a mountaintop. This is a man surrounded by rubble saying, God's mercies are new this morning. Think about that for a moment. When everything around him had collapsed, and he still had to get up and face another day, grace met him there, right there in the mess, right there in the middle of ordinary, exhausting survival. And here's what that means for you. You don't need a mountaintop experience to receive grace. You don't need to wait for Sunday morning. You don't need to manufacture some spiritual high. You need grace while you're doing the school run. You need grace while you're sitting at your desk. You need grace while you're trying to be patient with that difficult person again. Grace is as daily as breakfast. Now, look at what verse 23 actually says. His mercies begin afresh each morning. That word afresh is vital. Every morning is a fresh start, not because you've earned it, not because you've finally got your act together, but because God's character is faithful. You don't wake up in yesterday's deficit. The score resets. His mercies aren't recycled. They're not rationed. They're not running low. They're new each morning. So that mistake you made yesterday, that patience you lost, that prayer you didn't pray, that conversation you wish had handled differently, this morning's grace covers it. You're starting today clean. So stop mentally carrying yesterday's failures into today's opportunities. God isn't. He's offering you fresh mercy right now. Receive it. Here's something we often miss. We think grace is only for when we mess up. But verse 22 says, His faithful love never ends. That means grace sustains your obedience too. You need grace to keep going when you're doing the right thing and no one's noticing. You need grace to love your family well on day 5,847 of family life. You need grace to serve at church when you're tired. You need grace to show up at work with integrity when it would be easier to cut corners. You need grace to be kind to your neighbors when they're annoying. If you're faithfully doing any of those things, you need grace. So ask for it. The same grace that forgives you also fuels you. Don't just ask for grace when you've sinned. Ask for grace to keep serving. And here's the final thing. Verse 23 says, Great is his faithfulness. Not yours, his. You're not faithful because you're strong. You're faithful because he is. Your spiritual life doesn't depend on your ability to hold on. It depends on his commitment to hold you. When you're tired of trying, remember this. You're not keeping yourself saved. You're not maintaining your own faith through sheer willpower. You're not standing because you're strong. He is holding you. Your job isn't to achieve, it's to receive. Receive his grace. Receive his faithfulness. Receive his new mercies this morning. Here's the truth. You don't need to fall apart to need grace. You need it every single morning. You need it while you're brushing your teeth, while you're making decisions, while you're choosing kindness, while you're simply showing up. God's mercies are new today, right now, for you. Receive them. And come back tomorrow, because we're going to tackle the thing that keeps so many of us from prayer: shame. When you feel too guilty to pray, what does grace actually say? I'll see you then.